Welcome to the anime underworld. Tis I, Dante the Otaku God, here to talk about Fairy Tail. Last week I did a video covering Fairy Tail as a whole, how I felt about the series, what worked, what didn't work, but this is something that really worked and I love it. Bleach has the Shinigami, One Piece has Devil Fruit users, Fairy Tail has Dragon Slayers. This group certainly has a lot to talk about, and let's get right into it. If you like Fairy Tail and want more content, like, share, and subscribe, help the algorithm, and help out the channel. And also, we are going to be going into spoilers for the sequel series of the 100 Years Quest. So if you're not caught up with the manga and you just want to wait for the anime, spoilers are ahead. You have been warned. Dragon Slayers are human wizards who are able to use the power of dragons, the most powerful race in the entire series. 400 years ago, the dragon race ruled over the lands, seas, and the air. Some countries saw humans as nothing more but livestock and food, while in the east, specifically Ishgard, dragons were able to live in harmony with humans, seeing them as good support rather than lowly insects. However, this clash of ideas led to a full-on war, and with a stalemate, there was only one solution. The humans of Ishgard would enter the battle as Dragon Slayers, now able to use the very magic that their allies were capable of using. This helped, and was also a detriment to the dragons as a whole. When a human becomes a Dragon Slayer, they obtain such great power, not only wielding the attribute of the dragon that taught them their magic, but also more keener senses than any normal human, such as smell, sight, hearing, even coming up with features such as slit pupils and sharper teeth. With Dragon Slayer magic, they can use any element and consume any element, rejuvenating them and even restoring their magic. But should a human kill a dragon, they will become more powerful than they would be normally. And thus, human Dragon Slayers began turning on the very dragons that they fought alongside with, the ones who taught them the magic in the first place, and thus dragons were becoming endangered. What makes Dragon Slayers also interesting is the fact that there isn't just one specific kind. Now, I don't mean that there's, just one element, but there are actually different classifications of Dragon Slayers out there. The first is first generation. These are Dragon Slayers who were actually taught by dragons to use their magic. Such examples include the creator of Dragon Slayer magic herself, Irene Belsirion, who became a master of Sage Dragon Slayer magic. This allows her to boost any other spells that she has in store. There is also Elefsiria, the Law Dragon Slayer, who becomes a prominent figure in the sequel series. We haven't seen it in action, but it is apparently supposed to be like super archive magic. And of course, the main protagonist of the Fairy Tail series, Natsu Dragneel, with his iconic Fire Dragon Slayer magic. There's of course Gashio Red Fox with Iron, Wendy Marvel with Sky, and the king of all dragons himself, the massacre slaughterer of the dragon race, Acnologia, wielding an unknown attribute, but he is still first generation. This is the oldest generation of Dragon Slayers, all being taught by dragons. But there is another classification for Dragon Slayers, second generation. These are humans who are not taught by dragons, but were instead having it within them Dragon Slayer lacrimas implanted into their bodies. The first example was Loxus Dryer, with his very dangerous Lightning Dragon Slayer magic. And after him was Eric, showing us the power of the Poison Dragon Slayer. And the top dog of the Wizard Saints, the #1 wizard in all of Ishgard, God Serena, not having one or two or three, but eight. 8 Dragon Slayer lacrimas implanted into his body. Where did he keep all those lacrimas? I mean, seriously. God Serena possessed 8 Dragon Slayer magics, including Purgatory, Sea King, Cavern, Gale, Lightning, Diamond, Spark, and Darkness. This dude was a freaking avatar among Dragon Slayers. This is a pretty short list, even though they're the more modern day Dragon Slayers, as opposed to the old school ones. And of course, with there being a second generation, there is a third, being a combination of both the first and the second generations. Not only were they taught and raised by dragons, but they also had the lacrimas implanted inside them. giving them access to their Dragon Force abilities and also more advanced forms of their Dragon Slayer magics. The first being Sting Elu Cliff, who possesses the White Dragon Slayer magic, and his partner in crime, Rogue Shinny, possessing Shadow Dragon Slayer magic. It's weird though, these are the only two 3rd generation Dragon Slayers that we have ever seen. And it's only been these two. I'm surprised that there aren't more because this is a very advanced style compared to the others. After the 3rd gen, there is apparently a 4th. Although granted, this one is kind of different. The only known 4th generation Dragon Slayers are the Quartum Army. Why? Because 4th generation Dragon Slayers are artificially made from Dragon Slayer Lacrimas into autonomous robotic soldiers. These are artificial Dragon Slayers who are not humans. They appeared in the fairy tale movie Dragon Cry, and that is the only appearance any 4th generation Dragon Slayer has ever made. We have not seen any other 4th gen ever. They don't even show off their elements, so it's just a waste. And in the sequel series, again, spoilers, we have the 5th generation. This is unique. They were not taught by dragons, they were not given Dragon Lacrima implants. Instead, they eat dragons. That's right. These Dragon Slayers actually eat dragon flesh. It's crazy. They gain their powers by not only eating dragon flesh, but Dragon Slayer flesh. These are cannibals. The founder of this kind of style was by a man known as Georg, I think that's how you say it, Georg Rezin, using 4 Beast Dragon Slayer magic, although we never really get to see it. But it is with this magic that he has killed all the remaining dragons on his continent and giving him to his loyal followers of a guild known as Diablos. A guild full of Dragon Slayers, Dragon Eaters. The first one we met was Kyria, user of the Blade Dragon Slayer magic. Then there was Madmole with armor, Scolion Raider with corpse, acting something of a Logia, controlling axe. Then there was this Venom-looking mofo called Nebaru, using the Clinging Dragon Slayer magic, acting something akin to webs. Like I said, Venom. There's Wraith with Spirit Dragon magic, using the power of Ghost. Ooh. And the elite among these groups are Suzaku with Sword Saint Dragon Slayer magic, Kirin with Yellow Dragon Slayer magic, which is just, Lightning Dragon, but also able to control the atmosphere. It's crazy. There's Haku with what is called White Tiger Dragon Slayer magic. Then again, we have not seen it, just him with doll magic. And Mizaki with the Azure Dragon Slayer, using the ability to act something akin of spatial manipulation. As of this recording, these are the only Dragon Slayers that we have met throughout the series. If there are more out there, and there are more generations, I will let you know, but all of these Dragon Slayers have the same attributes. They have enhanced senses, they can eat their element to rejuvenate their magic, they all mostly succumb to motion sickness, and if they overuse their magic, they will become dragons themselves. However, not all of these dragons fight the same. Some of these dragons fight differently. It's not just the typical, strong punching, but they have different attributes and abilities that go along with their element in question. Gagio, for example, can manipulate his body into becoming iron weapons. Wendy comes equipped with enhancement and enchantments. She acts more like a supporter than a DP. Dragon Slayers like Rogue and Scolion's magic are capable of becoming intangible, making for a better sense of defense while also kicking ass with offense. And some of these Dragon Slayers even have secondary magics. Yeah, they don't have to just rely on their Dragon Slayer magic, they can use other elements and magics to their advantage. There's Loxus, who not only has Lightning Dragon Slayer magic, but also normal Dragon Slayer magic that he can mix with it. There's Eric, who has Poison Dragon, but also hearing magic. Advanced senses of hearing that allows him to act something more akin to, say, a telepath. He can read minds. There's Wending, who is capable of healing magic as well. Irene Belsirion, despite being the queen of Dragonslayer magic, only uses hers to boost her enchantments. That's how she uses it to fight. So it's acting more like an upgrade catalyst than her main attribute. If anything, her Dragonslayer magic is her secondary. Even the Dragon Eater Haku is capable of using another set of magic. Plush doll magic. Whoever he touches becomes a doll. It's a horror show. And his magic, the only thing we know about the White Tiger is that it's light fast. So this could mean that the White Tiger is something akin to maybe Sting's White Dragon with light attributes. These kinds of Dragon Slayers are actually my favorite. Not only do they have their badass Slayer magic with them, but they can also mix it in with any other magic to give them, just an ace up their sleeve. It's like how Gray got Ice Devil Slayer magic and was able to mix it with their molding magic. It's Slayers like this that actually add a little bit more to the fighting practices, and something that I kind of want to see more of with these Dragon Slayers in the series. There's a lot to these Dragon Slayers, and they are amazing. I don't know what hero is going to be planning throughout the rest of the sequel series, but let's hope that these Slayers just keep on slaying. I'll see you later, guys.